Greetings and welcome back everyone. If you like these daily crypto analysis videos, hit the like button and subscribe. Please share these videos with your friends to help the channel grow. I'm Crypto Snake, back again to discuss some Bitcoin analysis. If you guys were watching Bitcoin, you guys noticed that today we had some major fireworks, and I laid out a big move in my VIP alerts and even to my free VIP group that I thought a massive move was actually coming for Bitcoin, and I thought that it was going to be a massive pump. Not only that, I also laid out the exact target where I thought it would strike and hit resistance, and boy did we nail it. In this video, I'll go ahead and lay out where I think Bitcoin might be headed from here and give some price targets, but first, let's go over exactly what happened. So for the past couple of days, Bitcoin has been absolutely just dropping and ripping. The entire market and a lot of crypto experts were calling for 6,300, 6,200, all the way down, dropping all the way down on Bitcoin, a full return. But as you can see, obviously the opposite happened. Again, contrarian theory, when the market thinks it's going to go down, it's probably going to go up. So when we first fell, we heavily separated from the daily Kijinsen, and we found a little bit of support down on this daily SAR dot. Now what's concerning about this entire move is that the Kijinsen on the daily was actually plateauing, which is this blue line here. Let me clear out some of these indicators. So following the breakout of the wedge, we did actually plunge. Over on Ethereum, the daily Kijinsen was also descending, so this was concerning that the Bitcoin Kijinsen would also follow suit and start descending, so I was keeping an eye on this. We did have a bullish TK crossover here, but it did not have a lot of momentum. So when we posted this candle about an hour or so ago, and the Kijinsen also elevated, I knew that the price was going to start shooting back up towards that. There were some other indicators as well. One, I was looking to see whether or not this daily SAR dot was going to break down into a bearish pattern above the price, indicating a very massive drop. The fact that it posted down below was a very, very bullish sign. If we go down to the hourly chart, we can see this a little bit better exactly what happened. On the hourly, we were breaking down. We did post a lower high and then broke down again. This bounce from down here was the catalyst for the small pump before we actually broke up into the absolute FOMO, breaking through this resistance at 65.25 and moonshotting. So what caused this gigantic pump? We're actually going to have to go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin shorts for that. If we take a look at Bitcoin shorts, you can see that a short squeeze did occur. Now what I was waiting for on this was a breakdown on the 4 hour of this chart. Once we posted this bearish SAR candle above, I knew that the short squeeze was in motion completely. And as soon as that happened, we started to break up in Bitcoin's price very, very quickly. If you were watching the price at the time, you know that it flew up very, very rapidly. And as I said, I did give the warning out to my VIPs that this was going to occur. I've been talking about it for days now. And look at the timing on this. The timing on this is perfect. If we go back to the Bitcoin chart, you can see where I posted and where this short squeeze actually occurred. I want to go ahead and take a look at the BitMEX Rect Twitter. This is where all the liquidated shorts are posted, and I thought this might be a good time to actually hold a memorial for some of these positions. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start that memorial. So as you can see, people who are shorting got absolutely destroyed on this pump. A lot of multi-million-dollar liquidations. Shorts were heavily overextended on the 4-hour RSI, peaking out at almost 75 before being rejected back down and smashing through for that short squeeze. So before I get on with the rest of my technical analysis and price targets, if you'd like to join my free Telegram for insights on the market, including Bitcoin, altcoins, and a sneak peek to my personal entries and exits, join t.me/cryptosnakepit. Links directly to the chat and a link on how to install Telegram, which is a free chat program I use to communicate with my VIPs, in the description below. I've also launched my official Twitter, so follow me at CryptoSnakeVIP to get regular updates. And we've been absolutely killing it in the VIP group this month, pulling almost 50% gains on that short squeeze today, only 3 days into October. You can see a preview of the gains we made last month, and I'm getting pumped for this looming bull run. I've given out a list of potentially discount altcoins I plan to ride for the bull run to my VIPs, as well as some hot altcoin swing positions every week. If you want information on how to get into the VIP group to be part of these trades, the information is also in the description below. So back to Bitcoin. Where do I see this pump taking us? As I've laid out in the previous videos, I did see a very likely strike to the 6750 to 6800. I think that is still very much in play. With the now ascending daily Kijinsen, I actually think this is a much, much more likely play at the moment, that we have broken bullish on this, so I'm expecting a strike up to this point before very likely having a very big breakdown to the bottom of this pennant. This pennant is the pennant that I laid out on the monthly chart. As you can see, we have been constricting and holding relatively around the same bottom, implying that we could potentially break out of this pennant with some massive volume moving upwards. The inverse is also true. We could break down from this with some massive volume downwards. However, I'm leaning a lot more bullish than I am bearish right now with this market, especially with all of the bullish news that's been coming out, and it fits into the overall market cycle trend. And as I've laid out with the market trend, I believe this breakout will produce a higher pump before breaking back down, producing a higher low, and leading us into bullish territory for the rest of the year, continuing upwards. The other trend that I've noticed is also on the RSI. It matches almost perfect to this pennant position, but you can see on the RSI we have actually been coiling within this range, very likely to build up support, which again lends some more evidence to a breakout from this position. As the price rises, the RSI is dropping. And if we go back in Bitcoin's history, we can see that we actually have not peaked out on the top of this RSI range in a very long time. It's been months since we have actually broken up to the 70 area, and we've been posting lower highs every time. So I'm expecting a massive breakout on this daily for this next pump. So right now I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin for the rest of the year. And short term, I'm bullish on it actually coming up here and testing this 6750 to 7,000. 7,000 might be a little high, but 6750 I think is well within the range before breaking back down. And if we take a look at the overall market health today, we can see that we did actually increase up $3 billion very, very rapidly. As I've laid out with short squeezes, what happens is the shorts are liquidated and the exchange pumps its money back into the market. So that explains this gigantic pump of $3 billion going back in. That was basically one BitMEX exchange putting most of its money right back into the market very, very rapidly. If we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, we're still trending around that 51-52% area, but we actually have broken down back into the 51% area, which is good. And moving back to the charts, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some altcoins today. We're going to look at Ethereum first, possibly Litecoin, and also XRP. So as for Ethereum, on the daily, we have been posting bearish SAR dots. Now, these don't have a lot of momentum with them, so that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to dump. We did actually break out of this rising wedge, which indicated a trend reversal, which has now been struck. And if we go ahead and get rid of those, we can take a better look at the chart. We have been ranging between this resistance and support range at 211 to 241, give or take. And we had a bullish TK crossover with a very, very low pump. The low velocity of this and the fact that it went into a downtrend immediately after crossing doesn't necessarily mean that it's bearish, but it also means that we are in ranging. So the Chiku span, as well with this next daily candle, did break through, just like Bitcoin, broke through the daily candles, which means we may actually continue moving bullish from here. The daily Kijinsen has also started to incline. Once we start posting SAR dots on the bottom, I could see this very easily pump into the daily cloud, pushing as high as possibly up to 318 or up to the 300 threshold. If we hit that psychological barrier and break 300, I think Ethereum is very, very bullish for the rest of the year. And I'll very likely be scooping up more Ethereum, if not opening a small leverage position for long-term gains on this position as well, which my VIPs will get an update on. That's it for my quick TA on Ethereum. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin, I'm actually bullish on as well. I don't normally trade on Litecoin, but I did give out a trade suggestion to my VIPs to possibly long it from this position, as we were hitting the SAR down here and the Kijinsen is heavily extended above. The Kijinsen on Litecoin actually is also rising, which if you were to open a position from here with low leverage, that's a 4.3% gain per leverage. That's still a good trade no matter what. I personally don't trade it because I don't like getting in and out of Litecoin on leverage. However, I believe this is looking very, very bullish, and I may consider opening a position on this as well. I think a test of this next resistance level is very, very likely from here. That's it for Litecoin. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. XRP, we're posting our third bearish dot. The daily Kijinsen has actually picked up, but I don't foresee us coming back to that all-time high. I think it is seeing a residual pump from Bitcoin, but normally these pumps like this, without any sort of backing, are very likely to break down just as hard, probably to around halfway point. I could very well see this breaking down from this position. For the moment, it's still an absolute no trade area for me, with this Kijinsen making very strange movements like this, up, down, up, down. I am still staying absolutely away from this coin. So that's it for today's technical analysis. If you do make any trades today, I wish you luck. Please join me in my free Telegram at t.me/cryptosnakepit, where I give up-to-the-minute updates on Bitcoin and my personal exits and entries for the private VIP group. Also included is our private VIP chat. Where you can chat with many of our experienced savage traders, get personal technical analysis from me, and answer any questions you might have. This is Crypto Snake, signing off.